All right, traders, I've prepared for you a nightly watch list. This is going to show you how to trade the best setups at the best prices with the options. It's going to show you the top option trades heading into this week. Let's get into the updated price action analysis. I'm going to be giving you my trading plan in terms of how I'm planning to trade the following stocks moving forward, including AMC, BBY, Mvis, Tilleray, Roblox. Those are going to be the top ones that I'm watching. We're also going to be going over the SPY. So make sure you smash that like button. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a great video lesson with some great money-making opportunities. In terms of the option contracts that I'm going to be looking to go with, it's going to be the at-the-money strike and the ones that have the quickest expiration. So let's get right into the price action analysis and let me show you guys how to trade the best setups at the best prices using these unique gap strategies that we're consistently using to make money trading options. You can also trade these stocks with shares as well. Let's get into it. So first things first, let's go over the top setups. We're going to go over the SPY towards the end of this video, but in terms of the top setups, let's start off with Roblox. If you guys remember, Roblox and NIO were two stocks that I were talking about in a couple videos that were on track to fill their gaps, and you can look to be buying the breakouts, look to be buying the morning breakouts, morning spikes for the quick call option profit where you can make a quick 20, 30, 40% return. So in terms of Roblox, I'm currently bearish. I told you guys I was going to be interested in buying put options when this gap fills. There was a gap to fill right here at 50.79. It's towards the top of this resistance channel. You have a lot of resistance right here on Roblox at 51.60, at $58.80. In terms of its downside potential, you can just see right here, it got to a high of 50.24. The next day it sold off all the way to 45.51. You can see right here, it got to a high of 50.81. The next day it sold off to 46.15. So in terms of Roblox, we have very limited micro upside potential and very nice downside potential for the micro. One thing I dislike about this setup is there isn't a gap to fill below for the micro. There is a gap to fill all the way down here, but in terms of your micro trade, there is no gap to fill below. So the setup isn't as good, but it's still a decent setup. It's a gap close reversal. So in terms of the strategy, you can see right here in terms of Roblox, we have major resistance on this 5-day channel. This major resistance is going to be right around here at $51.25. 51.25 to 50.50. That's going to be your key major resistance on Roblox. We also had a gap filled today that I was expecting to fill. Go back, watch the previous videos. In terms of Roblox, today it gapped up. It closed this gap, which was the low of day. It had a gap close reversal, shot up, and then it filled this gap. And ever since it filled this gap right here at 50.79, it has been showing signs of failed breakouts. It has been showing signs of micro weakness. It has been showing signs of resistance forming. You can see it's already starting to drop nicely from 51.50 to 50.50. So here's the deal with Roblox. It is make it or break it for this stock. I have a strong intuition, a good feeling that we are going to see a nice gap close reversal, that we are going to see a pullback. You can see right here, we had a nice gap close reversal. It shot up, filled the gap, had a reversal, shot up, filled the gap, had a reversal. Well, we just filled this gap right here now, and we're towards the high end of this 5-day channel with some very nice downside potential. So in terms of what I'm going to be looking at for Roblox, very simple. Look for the morning panic. Look at the closing price, $50.92. If that starts to crack, which it currently is in after hours, you know, it's down a tiny bit in after hours at 50.58. It closed at $50.92 for the day. So it is already on track to gap down. Best price level is 50.92. If you see it pop to 50.92, it reacts as a resistance level. You're going to want to look to buy puts. Also, if it starts to have a morning panic and if it starts to crack this 50.30 level, then you're going to want to look to buy puts as well for a nice micro trade. So in terms of your key breakdown right here is going to be 50.30. Your key resistance is going to be $50.92, the closing price, the previous closing price. There's going to be a gap to fill. If it does gap down right now, it's currently gapping down during extended hours, right? So your resistance right here, your support right here. If it pops up, reacts as a resistance, buy the puts towards resistance. If it just instantly cracks, buy the puts. Pre-fill out your orders. In terms of the strikes, just understand Roblox is very lucrative with options, but it does have a little bit of a wide spread at times. So in terms of Roblox, you want to you want to submit your order in between the bid and ask. If you're really confident it's going to fall, then you can lean a little bit more towards the ask. The spreads can be wide at times, so stay at the money. Go with a 51 strike or a 50 strike. Those two strikes in the puts that expire on April 1st. So that's the game plan. And you could just see this is what we're going to be looking for on Roblox. See how it starts to sell off, reacts as a resistance towards previous closing price. Boom, massive morning panic. See how it starts to sell off, reacts as resistance towards this previous closing price. Boom, massive sell off. And it's all at this key $51 level. Roblox is going to be the top play for tomorrow. That's the number one stock that I'm going to be interested in terms of put options. This is a trade that can make you back the cost of Trader Society before you even join Trader Society. That's a high confidence setup. So our next setup is going to be Tilleray. So in terms of Tilleray, there was a gap to fill on Tilleray towards the high of this channel. It's been forming a lot of resistance for the past 3 days now in the 840s to 870s. You can see it double top today. There was actually a gap to fill on Tilleray at $8.56. There was a gap to fill right here at $8.56. Just like Roblox, it's towards the high end of the channel. It filled the gap. It's having a reversal. It's selling off. It's downtrending towards hours. It's downtrending towards after hours. And with that being said, this is just on track to really sell off and to start to fill this gap. There's a gap to fill below at 697, which is going to be the best prices, one of the best prices to buy some micro calls, to buy the dip with the tight stop loss. The levels I'm giving you are key trend reversal levels. So if you get in and it starts to go against you, you cut the loss quick, because these are key critical levels where if the stock doesn't go in your favor, it is most likely going to be a big loss. But if the stock does go into your favor, it can be a big win, because this is a key trend reversal strategy with huge potential in our favor, because we're trading at the best levels with the best setups possible. So just keep that in mind. We're rocking tight stops. If it can't work at the best level, we're stopping out quick. In terms of my option contracts, I like to cut them when they're down about 10 to 15%. In terms of the wins, I really want to push for 30% plus. But 20 to 40%, typically that's where I'm looking to lock in. It all depends on the trade and on the contracts, right? Friday expirations offer much more lucrative percentage returns. But anyways, it's having a gap close reversal. It filled the gap. It's having a reversal, same setup as Roblox, except there's a gap to fill below at 697, which is realistic for the next couple days. So we're topping out towards 3-day key resistance. What I want you to look for in terms of Tilleray for tomorrow, 832. 832 is going to be your key resistance level. There's going to be a gap to fill above there. If it gaps down, right now it's having a small little gap down during extended hours. Your key breakdown level is going to be $8.15. So your support is $8.15. Your resistance is $8.32, right? So those are your key critical levels for breakdowns and resistance for puts. In terms of the contracts, this one, take a light size on, and I would go with the $8 put strike. That's what I would look to do on this one, the $8 put strike. You can also consider the 8.5 put strike. Do not go far out of the money. The quickest way to lose money trading options is to go far out of the money. That's how you'll lose money, by going far out of the money. Stay at the money, stay in the money. Don't go too deep in the money, stay at the money. So yeah, that's the thoughts on Tilleray. So that's the second setup there. So triple BY. You know, this is an overreaction. It's extremely overextended. My recommendation for this one would be to just buy puts on the first red day. So say it's tomorrow, whenever it's going to be, when you see that triple BY is down on the day, I would look to buy puts for a quick scalp. That's what I would look to do on a triple BY. Again, stay at the money and look to go with short-term expirations. So for this one, if we can crack this $27 level, I think that would be key for puts. If we can crack 27, the key for this one mainly is just the first red day put. That's a basic setup, nothing too great, but it is on my radar because it is extremely overextended. Mvis, this is going to be another amazing setup, guys. Mvis, keep this stock on your radar. It had a big day today, at 33% on the day. This one just filled the highest gap. There was a gap to fill on Mvis at 566. Another gap close reversal setup. Man, who is pointing you in the right direction of these setups, guys? Keep this on your top watch for a potential reversal. If you see this stock is red tomorrow, if it's red, if it's down tomorrow, you're going to want to be playing some puts for the first red day. That's what you're going to want to be doing on ticker symbol MVIS. The make it or break it level is 566. If it can't break out, if it reacts as a resistance level, it's going to sell off hard. Key support is at $5.50. If it cracks that, you're looking at a very big pullback. How low can this realistically go? 460 for the micro. We're looking at a micro pullback on this to about 460. There's a small little intraday gap fill. Those tend to fill quickly. So the setup on this one is, it's a phenomenal setup. It's at 3 months resistance. Key resistance, big downside potential. I mean, just look at this. It has a very big, nice move up. And then once it goes red, it just dies. There's a gap close reversal at 566. As of now, just like Roblox, just like Tilleray, they filled their gaps. They're starting to have micro reversals. They're starting to sell off. So with this one, the target would be around 470s. That would be the key profit taking zone. The plan would be buy puts on the first red day. You see it struggling at 566. You see it cracking 550. Those are going to be all the key levels. In terms of the strikes, I would go with a 550 put strike. I would not do the $5 strike. I would go to 5.5 put strike. Play it very, very safe. Stay at the money. The quickest way to run out of the money is to go far out of the money. Remember that. So that's MVIS. That's going to be a key critical setup. So some of the best setups that I'm seeing right now, I would say, are Roblox and MVIS. Those are my top 2 favorites right now. Another one on my radar, same setup, the gap close reversal setup. And notice how we're using these gap close reversal strategies at key critical price channels on the daily chart, right? So in terms of NIO, we were expecting this one to fill the gap as well. If you go back and watch the previous videos like we were with Roblox, had a nice little win on this one recently when it gapped up here for a quick like 15% win. With this one, there's a gap to fill at $21.98. So $21.98 is going to be the key level, $21.98. In terms of the high of day, it got to $21.96. It missed it by 2 cents. If we can see NIO form resistance in the 2190s, it's going to be a key stock to be buying some micro puts on for the first red day. So keep that on your radar. The key breakdown on this is going to be 2170. The key resistance is going to be 2198. It partially filled the gap. It's starting to sell off, so it has not filled the gap yet. Let's keep an eye on NIO for that key critical reaction. It's a decent setup, not 100% of my favorite, but you can just see, like, if you look at this sideways uptrend, sells off to fill this gap. Sideways uptrend, there's a gap to fill right here at 1991. Fills the gap, has a reversal. There's a gap to fill here. It's just destined to fill. So let's keep NIO on our top watch. That is a decent setup. So some of the best setups I'm seeing right now, Roblox, NIO, and MVIS. Those are some of my favorites. Tilleray is getting interesting. If you look at the daily here, we're starting to get interesting. It looks like it's getting ready to sell off. I like Tilleray too. So those are going to be some of the top setups. Is there anything else I'm really seeing? Those are my favorites. Those are my favorites. We're keeping it very simple. The top ones are Roblox, Tilleray, NIO, Mvis, all puts. They got to have the bearish confirmations. They got to react bearish at the key levels. And I explained to you how we're kind of planning to play that in a sense, right? That's just some of the basics. Now, in terms of our next setup, let's take a look at AMC. So in terms of AMC, it's getting very interesting. It really is make it or break it for this stock. We've had such a massive move up from 1290 all the way to now 34.33. So the key make it break it or level that we discussed in yesterday's video is going to be this like $30 to $29.30 level. In terms of how does the chart look for AMC, I would say this isn't the most bullish candlestick at the moment, but it's not over just yet. That's what I would say. So in terms of like where I can really determine where it's going to be heading for the micro, I should be able to know within the next 1 to 2 days. I want to see how it reacts, because if you look right here, it looked like it was over on this day right here with this bearish candlestick, but it wasn't quite over. And I actually called this out. One of the first videos on my channel was telling people to buy AMC far out of the money strike, which is something I never typically do, but I was so confident in the setup. I was telling people to buy the 74, I think it was the $74 strike when this was at $30 right here. And I told them it was going to explode the next day. It went to $70. Those contracts went from 40 cents to $18 that day. I'll never forget it. That was like an amazing trade. But with that being said, we got to see how this reacts. If this is red, then it's going to be good signs that we're starting to come to an end of this uptrend for the micro. If it's red tomorrow, so we just got to see how it reacts. Your key level is going to be this $29. That's your make it or break it level. We're going to call it $29.33. If it cracks and reacts as a resistance level, AMC is going to start to sell off, and it's really going to try to crack this 2066. And if it does that, it's going to be on track to go to about 25.50 to 24.80. That's where it'll be on track to go. If $30 can break out and start to hold, it's going to push to 31.33. If it breaks out above that, it goes to 34.33. If 34.33 breaks out, we're going straight up to fill this gap right here. There's a gap to fill at 38.89. So those are the key levels in terms of both ways for AMC, and that's kind of what to look for in terms of like the chart right now with this whole candlestick. It's a little bit too early to tell, but I would say it's not the most bullish signal. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it, just mainly sitting on the sidelines. For this one though, I wouldn't recommend put options. The options right now are just really messed up with the implied volatility. It's just so high. I would just do shares on AMC. In terms of calls though, I would be very interested in doing some call options when this drops back to $20.24. I got my alert set for that. This stock has a strong history of having gap close reversals of, pumping at key critical support levels. So eventually this is going to get back to 2024. And that's when I'm going to look to start accumulating some midterm call options for a very nice percentage return. Because as time goes on, I can definitely see AMC starting to fill these gaps. There's a gap to fill at 38. There's a gap to fill at 44. History shows this stock has filled every single gap, just like GME, throughout its past history. Some of these gaps have taken years to fill, but AMC and GME have filled every single gap throughout the all-time history as time goes on. And we do have this gap to fill here, and we do have this gap to fill here. The highest gap to fill is at like 45. The lowest gap to one of the lower gaps, not the lowest, but one of the lower gaps to fill is at 2020, which would be the best price to buy the call. Is going to be a great dip buying opportunity there. That's kind of what I'm waiting for in terms of buying AMC. Yeah, that's mainly going to be it. Another setup that is interests me here is Ford. Ford is very interesting. We filled this gap at $17.60. And, if we can start to break down and start to crack this 1760 level, that's nice downside potential. It should start selling off to fill this gap to fill below at 1667. So just like BBY, the setup for Ford is to buy puts on the first red day. When this stock has its first red day, from prior to having this massive run up, when we have this first red day, just like BBY, those should be great opportunities to buy puts towards open and then ride this back down a bit to fill these gaps below. So Ford and BBY are going to be first red day setups. In terms of gap close reversal put setups, we're looking at potentially NIO, Tilleray, Roblox, and Mvis. So we got some phenomenal setups all with this gap close reversal strategy. We have more than enough setups. Tomorrow should be a phenomenal green day within Trader Society. If you are interested in joining Trader Society, all the information is the first link in the description. You do get lifetime access, and it's a one-time fee to the chat room, the live trading streams at Market Open. There's a lot more included in it, so be sure to check that out. And then let's talk about the SPY. So in terms of the SPY, guys, and I do stand by this. I've been telling you guys, within time, this is going to fill this gap at 464.72. We are really getting up there. So with that being said, we gotta look for puts when this hits 464.72. It's the highest gap to fill on the SPY at 464.72. And I want to put some perspective into this. You can see right here, SPY was bottoming out at 427. And it had a massive run up, just like it recently did. And then where did it start to top out? Where did it start to have a nice pullback? Right here when it hit 470. Right here when it hit 473. You had a nice pullback right here from 470 to 462. Those puts printed within that time span. Right here from 473 all the way down to 448. Those puts printed within time span. If you went with the right ones, played it safe, gave yourself enough time, right? So in terms of the SPY, the reason why we might not be able to get back to 470s, as high as this before the pullback 473, is because it dropped much lower. Right here, it bottomed out at 426. This time, it bottomed at 410. So we dropped a lot lower, so it's most likely not going to go as high as it did for the micro. So the whole theory on SPY is when we can fill this gap at 464.72, which is that key resistance. It's that same pattern I just showed you where SPY is due for a pullback prior to having this massive quick run up, massive quick run up. It looks the same. It looks identical to this, right? When we could fill this gap and form bearish candlesticks, form bearish confirmations, start to form resistance, start to break down, micro puts should do very well. In terms of macro puts, that's where I mainly look to swing trade, kind of hold them out for a bit. The idea here is for the macro, when SPY can form resistance towards 464.72 or even 467 to 470, in between that zone, it's sitting, it's forming bearish candlesticks, right? So something like this, it's just kind of sitting, not doing anything, forming red candles. It's just kind of sitting, not doing anything, forming red candles. It's just kind of sitting, not doing anything, forming red candles. When we can get those confirmations where it's just sitting in a small little channel, forming bearish confirmations, bearish candlesticks, towards this key 464.72 level, that range, it's gonna be a swing trading put option opportunity to ride this back down to fill the gap below at 455.91. The SPY should have a nice sell-off on its first red day. That's another setup for micro puts. So when this does have the first red day, I would look to play puts as well. So keep that on your radar. That's going to be the best setup at the best price. It's the highest gap to fill above. I mean, this is just another perfect example. Check this out. Highest gap to fill above on the SPY at the time was at $469.44. You can see it gaps down, it sells off, it goes to 450s, it shoots back up, it crumbles. It crunches at the gap fill level, at the resistance level, forms the bearish candlesticks, and then within some time, the macro puts printed and it dropped back to 451. So what we're looking for is we're looking for some bearish candlesticks on the daily. It's going to take days to develop. We're looking for resistance. We're looking for a small little channel to be forming at 464.72. It can form a little bit above as well, but 464.72, 467, 470, around that zone, when we see some bearish candlesticks, it's just sitting, it's not doing anything, it's not just trending up like this, trying to catch a top. That's when we're going to buy the macro puts. I haven't been buying any macro puts on the SPY since the 430s. I haven't been swing trading puts on the SPY. I would have gotten killed. I've been waiting, like I told you guys, I'm not buying macro puts into green bullish candlesticks with this gap fill play. I'm waiting for the SPY to rest. I'm waiting for it to rest at the key critical gap fill level to form bearish candlesticks, to consolidate towards the highs, to show signs of weakness. I'm not going to buy macro puts into a strong green run up like this. So that's what I'm waiting for on the SPY, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I think this was a great video. I think we got some amazing setups coming up. I mean, this setup on SPY, nobody's talking about this type. So this is an amazing setup we got coming on SPY. You just got to be patient, wait for the key confirmations. We got some great setups on Mvis, Tilleray, Roblox, NIO. I'm telling you guys, we got some great opportunities here. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please smash that like button. And like I said, if you do want to be a part of Traders Society, that's going to be that first link down below in the description. It's a one-time fee. You get lifetime access. In terms of what you get lifetime access to, everything included within Trader Society. The live trading streams, we do a live trading stream at Market Open where you get to watch me trade live. You can ask me any question you like. During that live trading stream, I'll answer it on the spot. You also get access to the chat room. Within the chat room, we'll be talking about, the stocks that we're trading. I'll be sending out my real-time trade alerts. I'll be giving you my stock analysis, the price action analysis, the stock watch list. So kind of like these videos, except within the chat room in real time while the market's open. Then we have the live trading stream at Market Open as well. So in terms of my trading strategy, I typically trade the best and trade mainly at Market Open. I'm usually done within the first hour. And then towards power hour, I'll look for a swing trade right before the market closes. Swing trades are made right before the market closes because we use this strategy where we wait for the one-day candle to shape itself right before the close. So yeah, if you do want to learn how to day trade, how to swing trade, we have a video lesson library that teaches you all of the unique gap trading strategies that we are consistently using to make money within the stock market. It's going to show you how to trade the gap trading strategies. It's going to show you the unique price action analysis, how you can do this on your own. It's going to show you the mindset to trading, the psychology to trading, the risk management and position sizing to trading, right? So if you do want to learn more about it, you also get access to where you can contact me via direct message one-on-one within the chat room. There's a lot more to it. If you want to check it out, it's the first link. As soon as you sign up It's the first link down below in the description. As soon as you sign up, you get instant lifetime access and you can start trading with us tomorrow morning. I'm telling you, tomorrow should be a great green day, guys. So I'm going to leave it off at that. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video lesson, and I will see you in the next one.